Stop what you're doing and think about this. After studying 500 of the wealthiest people in history for 20 years, Napoleon Hill discovered they all shared one thing in common. Not education, because many had none. Not family money, because most started with nothing. Not luck, because they all faced crushing failures. Not intelligence, because Hill met brilliant people who died poor. So what was it? What separated those who built fortunes from those who only dreamed? Hill spent 2 decades searching for the answer. He interviewed Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, John D. Rockefeller, Alexander Graham Bell, and hundreds more. He filled notebooks with observations and patterns, and what he discovered was so simple, so obvious that most people dismiss it. But that dismissal is exactly why most never build wealth. This one trait isn't complicated. It doesn't require genius, but it demands something most refuse to give. And that's why the wealthy keep winning while everyone else stays stuck. Stay with me for the next 15 minutes, and I'll tell you exactly what that one trait is. Not in vague motivational terms, but in clear, specific language you can apply today. And I'll prove to you, using Hill's research and the stoic wisdom that shaped him, that you already possess everything needed to develop this trait. The only question is whether you'll do what the millionaires did. Before we continue, comment now, "I will master this one trait." What you're about to learn isn't theory, it's the proven difference between wealth and poverty. Hit like, subscribe, and let's uncover the one similarity Napoleon Hill found in every millionaire. In 1908, Napoleon Hill was a struggling journalist, 25 years old and broke. He'd been assigned to interview Andrew Carnegie, the wealthiest man in America. The interview was scheduled for 3 hours. It went 3 days. During that time, Carnegie tested Hill, challenged him, questioned him. On the final day, Carnegie made an offer that changed Hill's life. He said, "Young man, I believe success follows a formula, a set of principles anyone can learn and use to create wealth. But no one has documented these principles properly. I'll introduce you to the most successful people I know, over 500 of them, if you'll spend the next 20 years studying them and recording what you learn. But I won't pay you. You'll support yourself during this research. You'll sacrifice time, money, comfort, and there's no guarantee anyone will care about what you write. My question is simple. Will you do it?" Hill sat frozen. Carnegie was offering access to history's greatest achievers, but demanding 20 years of unpaid work with zero guarantees. Most would have refused. Most would have said, "I have bills, I can't work free, I need stability." But Hill said yes. Not after days of consideration, not after seeking advice. He answered yes in 60 seconds. That decision, that instant commitment despite uncertainty, was the first clue to what Hill would discover. Carnegie smiled at Hill's answer. He later told Hill, "That's what I wanted to see, the ability to make a firm decision fast and hold it despite obstacles. Every successful person I know has this. Most people don't." Over the next 20 years, 1908 to 1928, Napoleon Hill interviewed over 500 successful individuals. Not just rich people, successful people, leaders, creators, builders, those who achieved something meaningful. He studied them obsessively. He didn't just ask about strategies, he observed how they thought, decided, and handled problems. He searched for patterns. Slowly, across 2 decades, one pattern became undeniable. Every person he studied, regardless of field, background, or situation, shared this trait. They made firm decisions quickly and changed those decisions slowly, if ever. Meanwhile, unsuccessful people decided slowly and changed their minds quickly and often. That was the divide. That was the one similarity. Successful people were decisive. Unsuccessful people weren't. Now you might think, okay, successful people decide fast. Not exactly groundbreaking. But you're missing the depth of Hill's discovery. This isn't about random quick decisions. It's far more specific. Hill found that millionaires could identify what they wanted, decide to obtain it, and commit to that decision with absolute certainty. No hesitation, no second guessing, no switching directions when things got tough. They decided once, clearly and firmly, then did whatever it took to make it real. Let me give you concrete examples from Hill's research. Andrew Carnegie decided young that he'd become America's greatest steel manufacturer. Not hoped, not wished, decided. From that moment, every action served that decision. When obstacles came, he didn't change his goal, he changed his methods. When people said it was impossible, he didn't waver, he found new paths. His decision was fixed, everything else was flexible. Thomas Edison decided to create a practical electric light. Everyone said it couldn't be done. He failed over 10,000 times. But he never changed his decision. Only his approach changed. He said, "I haven't failed. I found 10,000 ways that don't work." That's decisiveness. The goal never moved. Only the methods did. Henry Ford decided to build a car ordinary people could buy. The entire auto industry called him crazy. Cars were luxuries for the rich, but Ford's decision stood firm. He said, "I'll democratize the automobile." He built the Model T and the assembly line to prove it. His decision was absolute. Obstacles were irrelevant. John D. Rockefeller decided as a teenager he'd become wealthy. Not comfortable, wealthy. Every choice from then on served that decision. He lived below his means. He saved aggressively. He invested strategically. He built Standard Oil into the world's largest company. His decision never wavered. Hill saw this pattern in everyone he studied. They all had what he called a definite major purpose, a clear, specific goal they decided to reach. Once made, that decision became the organizing force of their entire existence. Every choice was filtered through it. Does this move me toward my purpose or away? Toward, do it. Away, don't. Simple, clear, definite. Now compare that to how most operate. Most don't make firm decisions. They make wishes, hopes, vague intentions. They say things like, "I'd like to succeed. I hope to earn more someday. It would be nice to start a business. Maybe I'll try that." Those aren't decisions, they're fantasies, and fantasies produce nothing. Worse still, when most do decide something, they abandon it when difficulty arrives. They decide to start a business, quit after 3 months when it's harder than expected. They decide to lose weight, abandon it after 2 weeks without instant results. They decide to learn a skill, give up when it requires consistent work. Hill called this drifting. Most drift through life without firm purpose, making weak decisions and changing them constantly. That's why they never achieve anything significant. The Stoics grasped this principle completely. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You control your mind, not external events. Understand this and you'll find strength." What does that mean? You can't control circumstances, but you control your decision about what you'll do regardless. That decision, made firmly and held tightly, is your power. Epictetus taught his students, "First tell yourself what you'll be, then do what must be done." Decide first, act second. Not backwards, not act randomly hoping something works. Decide first with total clarity, then align all actions with that decision. Seneca wrote, "Our plans fail because they lack aim. When a man doesn't know what harbor he seeks, no wind helps." Without a firm decision, a clear aim, you're drifting. And drifters don't become millionaires, they become statistics. Here's what Hill discovered as the one similarity in all 500 millionaires. They could make a definite decision about what they wanted and commit to it with unwavering faith and relentless action. That's it. That's the secret. Not complex, not mysterious, just rare. Most lack the courage to decide definitely and the discipline to maintain it. Now let's get practical. How do you develop this trait? How do you become someone who makes firm decisions and follows through? Hill gave specific steps in Think and Grow Rich. I'll walk you through them now. Step 1. Know exactly what you want. Not vaguely, precisely. Most say, I want to be rich. That's not precise. How much money? By when? For what reason? Hill said you must write a clear, specific statement of exactly what you want. Example, I will earn $100,000 by December 31st next year. Specific amount, specific deadline. That's a definite goal. Without clarity, you have nothing to decide toward. Step 2. Determine exactly what you'll give in exchange for what you want. Nothing's free. Hill learned from Carnegie and every millionaire that success requires sacrifice. What will you give up to reach your goal? Time? Comfort? Entertainment? Social approval? Write it down. Be specific. This is where most fail. They want rewards without paying the price. That's not a decision. That's a wish. Step 3. Set a definite date when you'll possess what you want. No someday, no eventually, a specific date. This forces definiteness. It eliminates vagueness. It creates urgency. Step 4. Create a definite plan for achieving your desire and start immediately whether you feel ready or not. Most wait to feel ready. Millionaires don't wait. They decide, plan, start, even if the plan's imperfect, even if they're not ready. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Waiting creates nothing. Step 5. Write out a clear statement of what you'll acquire, what you'll give in return, the time limit, and your plan. Write it down. Why? Writing forces clarity. What's vague in your head becomes clear on paper. What's clear on paper can be acted on. Step 6. Read your written statement aloud twice daily, once upon waking and once before sleep. Read it with emotion and conviction, as if it's already done. This is auto-suggestion. You're programming your subconscious with your definite decision. Over time, that decision becomes your identity. When it's your identity, you naturally act accordingly. These 6 steps develop the one trait every millionaire Hill studied possessed: definiteness of purpose, backed by definite plans and definite action. But here's the crucial part. You must persist. Hill found every millionaire faced huge obstacles, failures, setbacks. The difference wasn't avoiding difficulty. The difference was difficulty didn't change their decision. Edison failed 10,000 times, but his decision stayed firm. Ford faced mockery and doubt, but his decision never moved. Carnegie faced competition and downturns, but his decision held. They were all decisive, and that decisiveness, maintained through all obstacles, created their success. Now let's discuss what destroys this trait. What makes people indecisive? Hill identified several factors. First, others' opinions. Most change decisions based on what family, friends, or society thinks. Millionaires don't. They decide based on their own purpose and ignore outside opinions unless they serve the goal. Carnegie was told he'd never compete with established steelmakers. He ignored them. Ford was told affordable cars would never work. He ignored them. Edison was called a fool for trying to create electric light. He ignored them. Successful people follow facts, not opinions. Unsuccessful people follow opinions, not facts. Second, fear. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of loss. Fear paralyzes decisions. Hill found millionaires felt fear like everyone else, but they decided despite fear, not without it. They decided first, then managed emotions. Most wait for fear to vanish before deciding. It never does, so they never decide. Third, analysis paralysis. Waiting for perfect information before deciding. Hill observed millionaires decided with incomplete information because they knew perfect information never comes. They made the best decision possible with available data, then adjusted. Most wait endlessly for certainty. By the time it arrives, opportunity's gone. Fourth, lack of definite purpose. If you don't know what you want, you can't decide how to get it. This is the root of indecision for most. They haven't done the hard work of defining exactly what they want, so they drift, trying a bit of this and that, never fully committing to anything. Millionaires know exactly what they want. That clarity makes deciding simple. Does this move me toward my goal? Yes or no? Done. Here's what you do starting today. Right now, before this video ends, decide what you want, specifically. Write it. Then make the definite decision you will achieve it. Not try, not hope, not wish, will. Decide. Then create your plan. Then take the first action today, not tomorrow, today. Even if small, even if imperfect, act on your decision immediately. Why? Immediate action transforms a wish into commitment. It tells your subconscious this is real. This matters. We're doing this. Then, critically, don't change your decision when things get hard. They will get hard. Obstacles will appear. People will doubt you. You'll face setbacks. You'll fail repeatedly. That's guaranteed. But your decision must stay firm. Change methods, change approaches, change strategies, but don't change your decision. That's what millionaires do. That's the one similarity Hill found in all 500. Firm decisions held with unwavering commitment. The Stoics called this steadfastness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like the rock the waves crash over. It stands unmoved and the raging sea calms around it." Your decision is the rock. Circumstances are waves. Waves will come, but the rock doesn't move. Let me give one final example from Hill's research showing this principle's power. In 1929, during the Great Depression, most businesses collapsed. Millionaires lost fortunes overnight, but some became millionaires during the Depression. How? They'd made definite decisions about what they wanted and refused to change them despite catastrophic circumstances. They saw opportunity where others saw disaster. They acted while others froze in fear. Their decisions stayed firm even as the entire economy crashed around them. That's the power of definiteness. It works in any circumstance because it doesn't depend on circumstances. It depends on decision. Here's my final question for you. What's your definite decision? What have you decided you'll achieve regardless of obstacles, opinions, or setbacks? If you don't have an answer, that's your problem, not your circumstances, not lack of resources, your lack of a definite decision. Fix that today. Decide, write it, commit to it, act on it, don't waver. That one change, that one commitment to decisiveness changes everything. It changed 500 millionaires Napoleon Hill studied. It can change you too, but only if you actually do it. Not think about it, do it. Comment, "I have decided," like this video so more discover this principle before wasting another year drifting without purpose. Subscribe because we're bringing you real wisdom, proven principles from people like Napoleon Hill who spent decades studying what actually works. And share this with someone who needs to stop wishing and start deciding. Your life changes the moment you make a definite decision and commit fully. Everything Hill taught flows from this one principle. Master it and everything else becomes possible. Let's go.